What is up, everyone? Joseph Buer here, and welcome to part 2 of part 9 of this video diary series on rigging. When last I left you, we finished the control change for our arms, head, chest, and hips. We did a whole bunch of stuff there. Now, real quickly, I did want to go through some stuff before we continue on. One is I forgot for the control chains right here, I neglected to add in an FK to these particular bones, so go ahead and change that right now. Perfect. So, got our arms done. We're going to move on to our legs right now, and I've already gone ahead and made a chain for those. But before we do, we need to make a couple changes to our deformation rig. So the first one is if we go ahead and hide all these bones except for the IKs, we go into edit mode, and if we find the override bone, just go ahead and delete that bone. Alright. And it's going back into pose mode. Now the second thing we're going to do is we're going to bring back our deformation bones. Let's bring back in our model. Very good. Let's go ahead and center our cursor, and let's go ahead and add in a bone. And we're going to bring this up to the tail. And we're going to subdivide this bone at least 4 times. And I'm just going to go ahead and let's turn on the wire for the tail so we can see kind of what we're doing here. And oops, go into edit mode and just start lining these up. In the locations that you feel make the most sense. Now let's go ahead and name these. So we're going to call this DEF tail underscore A01. Copy that name, paste it in, change the A to a B, then C, then then D. Alright. Awesome, 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 awesome. Alright, so let's get into creating the control bones for our legs. And as I already mentioned, I've gone ahead and I've made a chain already for the legs. Let's go ahead and hide the model. We no longer need that. And I've already gone ahead and named these proper. But I just want to show you a little bit of what I've done here. So I've got, you know, the control bone for the buttocks. I've got the control bone for the pelvis. Got the FK bone for the thigh. The FK bone for the shin. I've got the FK bone for the foot. I've also got the leg target for the IK chain, and got the FK bone for the toe right here, and I've also got the FK or the IK toe override, which we just deleted from our deformation chain, and of course the overall leg control. So let's go ahead Oh, and almost forgot. We need our socket and driver bone. So we're going to call this pelvis control underscore 01.l. We're going to call this one control underscore or drv control underscore or drv underscore leg socket underscore 01.l. And disconnect the bone. Parent this bone to that bone. Keep the offset. And then let's add in a copy location, and now then a copy transforms. Very good. Very good indeed. Now select all those and make sure we have vertex snapping turned on, and let's just go ahead and snap those into place. Alright, perfect. Go to your deformation layer and go ahead and just have the FK bones selected and the deformation, or yeah, for right now just have the FK bones selected. Select the control rig, select the deform rig, then select the control rig again, shift select the deform rig, copy transforms, and repeat that step all the way down the chain. Now, right here, let's just make sure we get this organized. So that's the FK foot, that's the IK target, so let's put that in the IK bones and hide that. So FK foot, control foot, copy transforms, FK foot toe. Toe override, want that in there. Control FK toe. FK toe, control FK toe, FK toe, and then copy transforms. Okay. Where are we? Bone, toe. This is okay. So much of this I should have done beforehand. But I neglected to do so. FK IK switch is what we want. So that's like the same principle as before with the arm chain. Okay. And driver bones, we want to turn that on real quick. Or maybe it's in IK bones. Yes it is. Okay. Alright, that's just the limit. That's just the limit constraint. Alright, go back. So alright, so select the control bone first, then shift select, and we want to do a copy transforms constraint. All right, perfect. We are in business. Well, almost in business. We've got a... Yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. Let's see. Let's go into our deformation rig again. Let's select the IK toe, and up here where we used to have our original override bone, let's go ahead and change that to control rig. And let's change this to OVRD, so that's control IK toe override.L. There we go. Let's go ahead and select the control IK leg, and then select the IK leg control. Then select the control IK leg again, shift select, copy transforms. All right, we are well on our way. Just a few more things. So let's see here. This is the IK leg target. And let's go back to our control rig and let's turn on our IK bones real quick. Let's hide everything else. So this is... Is it this one? Yeah, here it is, a leg target. Let's make that cursor to selected. Let's make that let's make that bigger, just so it's matching up with the actual bone we want it to control. All right, so pose mode. Copy transforms. Okay, let's just make sure. Oh, actually, we don't want to do that. What do we want to do? Let me see just here real quick. How did I do it on this rig? Okay, so I want to bring that in. Driver, toe, parent, IK target. Oh, do I even need that bone anymore? I don't think I need that bone anymore. I'm pretty sure I don't. Yeah, I don't need that bone anymore. Okay, so pose, FK foot. I guess I don't. I guess I don't need it. I don't need. So, yeah. So ignore what I said about this bone. This one right here, the control leg target. We can just get rid of that because we actually aren't going to need it. Everything is going to be done through this bone right here. So let's go ahead and, or rather this bone, let's go ahead and copy that data path. Go to our deform rig, and you know the drill by now. Go to your mechanism bones, and let's just go ahead and bring out our driver menu. Let's deselect that so these are easier to select. And go ahead and hit Control, and then paste in the new data path. Do this for each one. Control, data path, Control, paste in the data path, and so on and so forth. Alright. As tedious as this is, there is a benefit to setting up these drivers ahead of time, just so you don't have to, you can save yourself just a few extra steps. Alright, let's test it out to see how this is working now. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back all the bones. There we go. And here's our main foot control. So let's just pull that over, and it appears to be working. Yeah, yep, it looks like it's working just fine. Excellent. Let's see if the foot roll is working. And it is. Foot roll is working perfectly. Now let's switch over to the FK bones. Remember to put all your FK bones in the proper layer, just so this is all easier to understand. Alright, let's see here. And FK does not appear to be working for some reason, so let's find out why that is. Let's go over to our deform rig, and let's just hide everything except for the mechanism bones. And let's see here. So that's set to 1. So is that. So is... Oh, did we miss the foot? We must have. Okay. Yes, we did. So we want control, and that we should still have the data path, paste it in. Okay. And yeah, we missed that one too. Alright. Now it should work. Now it should work. So let's go ahead and bring those back. There we go. Alright, awesome. Awesome possum. And let's go ahead and let's test out the toe override. So let's make sure we've got that selected, and let's see if that's working. Oh, why is it rotating weird? Oh, that's because I've still got that selected. There we go. Awesome. That is working. Well, that is working as well. Okay, let's see. What next to do? What next to do? By this point, you should be familiar with how you set up the drivers and the controls for this. I'll just do it anyway, just so I can do it myself. Call this leg. This doesn't actually get a parent. So now it should work. Yay! Okay. Alright, perfect. Go ahead and reset that. Let's go ahead and work on the butt now. So what we want the butt to do is very simple. We want it to follow the rotation of the thigh. So go ahead and select the thigh. Oh, you know what? Actually, maybe it's not the thigh. Maybe it's something else. Hold on. Yeah, that's right. It's yeah. We want to go into the deformation. Want to go into the deformation rig first, and we want to select the deformation buttocks. Go into here and add in a copy rotation constraint. Make sure it's set to local space. Go ahead and select your deform rig, and MCH thigh I think is what we need. .L, and just really quickly here. So we want to invert it. Let's see. Local space, and I think we just want the X. I believe. Let me double check on my other model here. Deform. What's it? Okay, so we do want these checked, but we don't want them inverted. And 0.45 seems like a good one. All right, and now we want to add in another copy rotation constraint. We want this set to offset, and again we want local space to local space. And this one is going to be from the control rig, and it's going to be, you guessed it, the control buttocks bone. There we go. I don't know why I thought I turned on the offset. I guess not. So now this thing will rotate based on how the thigh's moving, but at the same time we'll be able to grab this bone right here and control it further if we need to. Alright. Man, it really has been just like a long time since I've done one of these videos, because I am just completely lost. But hey, it's okay. We're making pretty good progress. Our rig is coming along nicely. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these relationship lines because they're kind of distracting. Alright, so we got that taken care of. We got the buttocks taken care of. We got the thigh. Muscle taken care of. What else? What else do we need? Oh, right, the toes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I'm just going to create the toes. I'm going to do everything I did for the fingers, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to set up the parenting system for that. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've added the constraints to the deformation bones in our deform rig. So now, as you can see, these are working same way as the fingers. Oops. Oh. Don't know how that happened. Okay, so that should be control middle toe. Yep. And let's just unclick that so we can actually. As always, make sure your bones are on the right layers just to keep everything nice and organized. Alright, perfect. So now what we want to do is parent these bones, or rather add a series of constraints to them so that they will follow either the FK bones or our IK override bone when we're switching between the IK and FK setups. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to pop into edit mode. Well, actually, no, we're not going to be in edit mode. So we're just going to select this bone, and we're going to add in, excuse me, a couple of child of constraints. Alright, and the first one is going to be for our FK toe. And remember to set the inverse. So we're going to select these two now and select this, and then as before, copy the constraints. Now we're going to add in, so for this one, we're going to make this be the override. Set inverse, select these two bones, then select this one, and copy the constraints. Okay. Now, as you've probably guessed, we're going to add a couple of drivers here. So we're going to go ahead and manually create a driver. Both of those, and I probably should have waited to add in these constraints after putting in the driver. But whatever, we'll just do it again. Alright, so let me pull over my driver window here. Be sure to, in the IK bones, be sure to grab or copy the data path and go on one of the toe bones. And as before, go ahead and type in pretty much the same information we've been using. So this is going to be the first one, so we're just going to call that, for the FK, so we're just going to call that switch. I'm sorry, negative switch minus -1. Here we go. Go ahead and copy that driver and paste it into here. So paste driver. So now we see that driver is exactly the same, except we're just going to rename this switch. Alright, so if we select this, bring that down to 0, select our toe again, you can see that's at 0 and that's at 1. So let's go ahead and, with these two bones selected, selecting these two bones first, and then selecting this one, go ahead and copy the constraints again. So now, oh, I guess that doesn't paste in the driver. Never mind, I was right the first time. Alright. So let's just see which one we need to change. This one. That's easy enough. That's IK. That's FK. And just do that for all of them, just so we keep things nice and organized. It's important to make sure everything is named properly so you don't get lost. Okay, so now let's see how this is working. So we got our foot right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and unhide all of this. Alright, so we got our foot here. So right now we're set to FK. So moving this should do absolutely nothing, but it's not for some reason, so let's find out what's going on. That's right. That's right. Apparently these got mixed up. Which is fine. Okay, so now it should work. So, alright, there we go. The IK is having no effect on it because these are currently parented to the FK chain, which for which I should bring up, so we can see we can rotate that, and the bones follow it perfectly. Now, if we go ahead and turn on the IK and we move this, we can see the bones follow the IK. Very cool. Let's check, make sure the foot roll is working. And the foot roll is not. We're getting this weird bend in our toe bones right here. And I believe that's because we need to... Oh, we actually can't set the inverse. Okay. Alright, so what I went ahead and did there is I changed the parent from the toe override bone to just the entire leg control for our toe bones. And what I mean by parent, I mean in the modifier I switched it to child of. So it's a confusing setup, and it's one that I don't think you're really going to use a whole lot. But for this specific armature, it makes sense, at least to me. So test out the roll. Roll works fine. You know, now those toe bones are moving around, except for this, which is jumping all around again because it needs to be a copy rotation and not a copy transforms. So once again, for the billionth, millionth time, I'll go ahead and do a copy rotation, change that to local space. So now we can roll the foot. We can roll the individual toes. We can grab the main toe override control and control all the toes, add in some extra rotation if we want, and we can add an extra rotation with those toes. Now, once again, when you're doing the foot roll, these toe bones will remain stationary. But what we'll do in the next video, when we start making all of our custom shapes for our bones, we'll add in, we'll make special shapes for the toes specifically, so that them being left behind while the foot is rolling isn't so much of a issue. So it'll be fine. Anyway, I believe that's it. Did I add in any bones for the deform rig? I didn't. But you know what? You guys have been watching these videos long enough to know what I'm probably going to do. I'll just explain it real quick. Just in your control rig, just create an exact identical copy of your bone chain right here. Just do copy transform constraints to control them. You'll do just fine. I'm going to go ahead and call it right there. Everything else seems to be working the way I want it to. Yeah, so that's working. That is working. Oh, and I forgot to add in the the pull targets like we did up here for our control rig. So just be sure to add in the pull targets and use again a copy transforms constraint, and you should be good. I'll do like just a brief overview once we get into like the next video, just in case. But I'm gonna call it right there. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Sorry if this video was a lot of jumbling around and me trying to figure out how I did stuff. It's been a while since it's been a while since I've made one of these videos, so I'm going to try and do better next time. But thanks for watching. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, that's okay. But let me know down in the comments below what you thought of it, and if there's any rigging tips that you want to share. And I will see you in the next one. All right, goodbye.